Okay, everyone here, Assalamu alaikum. It's Fadi Hamada, computer engineer from Gaza. I born, raised in Gaza. I'm gonna give you a speech, inshallah, the last situation there, statistics. It's something you will never. I believe that South African people, they got all the media that, thank you, from Al Jazeera, the other TV, satellite channels. But to get something from someone living there, contacted from there, it's totally different. So we shall start. Before, there are some pictures. If someone with sensitive heart, he can go before. Now this video shows the first day ever. The bombardment started in Gaza, 8th of July. Now this bombardment you will see. That started one time, without warning, without letting the people leave their houses. That's why thousands of Palestinians buried under the rubble of their houses. So I'm going to show you now some of the houses that were targeted in Gaza. In Gaza, at the meantime, there's almost like 500,000 Gazans became displaced. They're living in the hospitals, United Nations premises, in Gaza Beach, in the gardens, everywhere. Even if some generous people, they have like stores in their houses, they let some families to come and live in. Look here. Like, for example, there's some samples. It's a story of like 15,000 houses. Look at that house, for example, house of like 5-6 stories. This missile, 2-ton missiles, American missiles. Look at this one as well. It will take the house out from the roots. It will flat it. You can imagine the people that were living next to it, how terrified they feel. Look at this one. It was so close. He said they fled the house totally. Look at this one as well. House of 6-7 floors. It will flat it to the ground. Okay, so I think this is enough. I want to show you this video. This was for the second. That video, I made it when I was in the conference with the Scottish Parliament. So you can see that how I get also used to the South Africa and how I get to know to them. That was the White Fist Force. That picture was recently when I was there. You will see now. You will see me now standing to the ministry councils and the Palestine stadium. That was masjids attacked, churches as well, cemeteries as well. This was hospital. That was the Palestinian Ministry Councils. Ministry Council. And that was the stadium. It used to be. So now we shows what the people of South Africa when they came to Gaza in the 2009, 2011. Was some of the loads that sent by South African people in Cape Town and Durban. Okay, so we're done with the video. Now, while I'm speaking, that pictures will start to play. Okay, you can put the light on now. Okay. I'm gonna give you a brief description about Gaza now. Fast the statistics about what's going there. Gaza went through three wars in 6 years: 2009, 2012, and 2014. That was going at the meantime. Gaza Strip is an important part of historical Palestine with an area of 360 kilometers. So all of Gaza can't be like small street in Gauteng or Johannesburg. The population of Gaza is 1.8 million. Gaza makes the largest open-air prison in the history of mankind, while its ongoing turmoil is believed to be stain of the conscience of humanity, along with the fears in 2008-2009. That massacre, the whole world was witness on Kaslid. Actually, the Israeli, they have nice names for their aggression over Gaza. The first war was Kaslid, second one was Pillar of the Cloud. That one, at the meantime, it's Hard Rock. So it was even the largest scale military offensive that harvested lives and hopes of thousands of Palestinian civilians. The beginning was overwhelming, and what followed was fully implemented, while so-called free world could not do anything but some condemnation and appeals. The Palestinian civilians paid the invoice of this offensive as the war continued. 1,550 where people were killed. 2/3 were women and children. 5,500 people were injured, half of which became permanently disabled after losing one or more of their limbs. You can see in the pictures, the Israelis, they're using dime missiles, which is internationally prohibited. That missiles, it have broken stuff inside. When the missiles explode, it starts spread around, so it's very sharp edges. It can cut the human limbs. Too many Palestinian women, elderly and children have been killed and buried under the rubble of their houses. They were killed at the night in their homes while being awake, and the rest of the world asleep. The children killed from the bombs that targeted their house complex. Another closed by, or perhaps the car in the street, will never again hear a bedtime story. Even the stories that can be written in the child's classroom are limited. Too much blood covers the pages of the child's school kit. Too many memories fill the pages of the mind of those left behind. From the young to the old, and from the sick to the poor, the people of Palestine remember and cannot forget those who lost and have given their life. The struggle for freedom, justice, and dignity continues. For it, the light, for the candles of those who have come before, and it is that which guides the path for the future of those who remain. Now, the second war in 2012, massacre known to the word Pillar of Cloud, Israeli occupation army attacked Gaza again, and they assassinated the head of Palestinian resistance, Ahmed al-Jabari. The aggression lasted for 8 days against innocent and armed civilians. The totals of martyrs were 182, and more than 1,400 civilians were wounded. Among them, 40% were children, women, and elderly. Among the wounded, 65 children, women, and elderly. And typically, as the first massacre, those Ziopigs, and I like to call them Ziopigs, mixed between Zionist and pigs, so they are mixed. Ziopigs repeated the same scenario by killing civilians in their houses after demolishing it on their heads. Besides attacking mosques after Gaza went it as shelters. Now, in this massacre, hard rock Israeli occupation proved one more time that they don't have any target but women and kids. Now, since 8th of July, 2,140 martyrs, 341 child, 20 of them disability, like psycho people. They attack rehabilitation house. Why? They just don't have any how or any target to hit, so that they just empty their anger in the mosque, church, everything. Among them, 270 women and 68 elderlies. Now, due to the ongoing Israeli offensive on Gaza Strip, the number of houses was fully destroyed was 11,000. That totally, not partially, totally destroyed, 11,587. Also 31,500 partially destroyed. Now, we some statistics. Now, we have 153 schools and 175 service and public facilities in Gaza have been sustained damaged. 90 masjids in Gaza were damaged and fully destroyed. 9 NGOs were destroyed as well. 50 boats for fishermen were destroyed, and more than 280 were damaged. Initial reports about 7 billion US dollar. 7 billion, like 7 billion times 10, like which about 70 billion rand, the loss of Gaza economic. There are now about like 500,000 displaced. They seeking hospitals, Gaza beach, gardens, hospitals as shelters for them. And still, the Israeli didn't leave them alone. They attack them and they kill them, even if they were taking the United Nations. United Nations, it's supposed to be international place, but still they attack them there. Israeli occupation proved that there is no safe haven in Gaza, where its air, ground, and marine forces targeted mosque, school, United staff and premises, hospital, emergency medical station, and teams. So after all what people of Palestine have been through, it was important for the many humanitarian organizations all over the world to translate into action the word of sympathy and support South Africa. And I'm proud to say that in every single place I go, that South Africa and the South African people, they are very passionate towards Gaza and Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. They were one of the countries that sent convoys to deliver aid from the vital medication, surgical supplies, technical aid such as dental chairs, wheelchairs, medical air mattresses, trucks of diapers, trucks loaded with stationery, milk powder, crutches, clothing. These delegations were so happy to have been a part of the worldwide Break the Siege campaign, because you know the siege over Gaza since 2006. The campaign caused to feel they worked hardly and fulfilled their human obligation towards Palestine by steadfast and determined. Our brothers and sisters lead the way in breaking the unjust illegal siege by fostering the hope among the young and old within, in and outside, inside and outside Palestine, and strengthening the determination and resilience of our Muslim brothers and sisters in occupied Palestine and around the world. At the end, I want to say that in our struggle we are not alone. Together in faith and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know that He, the Almighty, will not abandon us. He will send the righteous people to give more aid to Gaza. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the hearts of those who remain with us and struggle for Palestine. Through our common struggle, we will all ensure that justice prevails over injustice, and the lights of the candles of our brothers and sisters who are no longer with us will remain. Through our actions, they shall continue to live, and their memories etched in our hearts. United as one, steadfast and strong, the dreams of Palestinians will one day come to the truth, and Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. Shukran jazilan.
Thank you most sincerely for that, Brother Fadi Hamada. We will allow you a few moments if you wish to ask questions. Questions, please. If you have some questions, we have Tufail's got a cordless mic. Hawabi, can you organize a cordless?
Yeah, definitely.
For Dilnaz, you've got a cordless mic. A cordless mic for the sisters, please. If you have any questions, please raise your hands, and questions pertaining to what Fadi has mentioned. And let's keep the questions brief, please. Questions only. No questions? Thank you. I want to impose on one of our elders, Mota Asmal. Mota Asmal, Damuda, give the man a hand. Thanks, Damuda. Mota Asmal, if you could kindly come forward and place this token of appreciation Thanks, Tabi. I see all comrades, comrades in arms. Well done, Tabi. Fadi, I'm going to ask you to go down, please. Thank you.
Uncle Iqbal, we've got a question from the ladies.
Okay, Brother Fadi, we have a question from a sister. Yes, sister?
I need to know, Hamas seems to be the problem, but that's in Gaza. How come in Ramallah, which is the West Bank, and Khan Yunis, there is no Hamas? So why are they bombing Khan Yunis and Ramallah and blaming Hamas?
Why are they bombing Khan Yunis and Ramallah?
Problem.
Is Hamas the problem?
To me, no.
No. Well, what's your question, sister?
My question is, why is Ramallah and Khan Yunis being bombed if Hamas is the problem?
Okay, why is Khan Yunis and Ramallah being bombed? Is Hamas the problem?
Actually, first of all, Ramallah and West Bank, Khan Yunis and Gaza. So there is no relation between. You speak about Rafah maybe. Rafah, not Ramallah. Rafah, not Ramallah.
Rafah, yeah, sorry.
So you're asking if Hamas is the point why they bombarded Gaza.
No, my point is they are blaming Hamas,
Uh-huh.
right? But why then, if Hamas is in control of Gaza, why are they then bombing everywhere else on the West Bank?
Uh-huh, okay.
You understand?
Okay, I will explain to you. Now, after 2000, I don't know if you were, after 2006, there was troubles in between the Palestinian brothers, Fatah and Hamas. So now they divided. Now, Gaza, they have government in Gaza and prime minister in Gaza, and another, which is funny, and another prime minister in the whole, we are under the Israeli occupation, and we are begging our salaries from outside. And now everyone, after the clashes in between the two parties, the two ever biggest parties, Fatah and Hamas, they divided them. So in West Bank, there is government and there is everything independent by itself, and Gaza itself. Now the point, Fatah, they are the people who are admitted Israel, and there is accords, Oslo, Camp David, everything, they are okay with Israel. Now when Hamas came to power, they said that we are not going to recognize Israel, and we are going to fight, and we are not going to now. But this is the point that is, I keep, to be fair, it's the mistake that if you are a resistance movement, you cannot in government. Yani how you can conflict yourself if you have the if you are the government there, then it's another government which is Israel. It's okay you want to admit it, or you not admit, to recognize it, to acknowledge it, They exist. There is Ares terminal, there is Kerem Shalom terminals. So you cannot say I ignore them. Then why you came to power? Why you came to the government? You cannot say I don't want to speak with them and I want to kill them. So rather you keep a resistance or you keep on government. You cannot hold two things at the same time. Now that's why since 2006 when they kidnapped the Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit and the Israeli put that siege around Gaza, because you know it's locked everywhere. North and east Israeli, west is the Mediterranean, and the Egyptians now, which is the collaborators with the Israeli. Now why they bombard Gaza? Because simply they want to take out the weapons of the resistance, which will never ever be. So now that's why Gaza under the bombardment. Hamas even exists in West Bank, but in West Bank, inshallah, in the future, if you went to Masjid al-Aqsa, you will see how many checkpoints. If any of our brothers or sisters, they went to Masjid al-Aqsa, they will see how many checkpoints. So resistance in West Bank is, you can say it's almost to be impossible. It's way impossible. There is resistance in Gaza, in West Bank. And many times, Yahya Ayyash, Abu Hannoud, all these people, they were from West Bank. Abdullah al-Barghouthi, he is the commander of Al-Qassam brigades. He is sentenced for 5,000 years in the Israeli jails because he is responsible for killing 167 Israeli. So this guy, he was always there. And Jenin, you didn't hear about Jenin massacre. All the incursion and all that massacres in West Bank.
Yeah.
The Israeli is the Israeli. They won't differentiate between Gaza and West Bank. We are all Palestinians. We are all fighting to retrieve our land. So tomorrow, I guarantee you tomorrow, if there is a Fidai militant group, they kidnap a soldier, they will burn the West Bank. They don't care. If Abbas, the president, our President Abbas, if tomorrow, people from Ramallah itself, if they kidnap the soldiers, they will go, in YouTube, you'll find the Israeli jeeps. They will go through Ramallah and no one of the Palestinian Authority will open his mouth with a single word. So it doesn't matter if it's Gaza or West Bank. Wherever there is action fight against those pigs, the Israeli will take action against it.
Now, I just wanted to know because Hamas is a democratically elected government.
Come again?
While Fatah, Mahmoud Abbas, is not.
Come again?
Hamas is a democratically elected body.
Yeah,
right?
true.
While Fatah isn't.
No, actually what happened in 2006 elections, both Hamas, they won the election.
Yeah.
They got 80 seats in the Palestinian Legislative Council. Fatah won as well. But this is the point that if Hamas, they were clever enough and they just were fair for themselves and they got enough, like 80 seats in the Palestinian Legislative Council, they will have enough. They have enough people in the council not to pass any decision, but they wanted the Palestinian Legislative Council, the Prime Minister, they want everything. That's why when they came to power, now they are the people who is in power. That's why America doesn't want them in power. Gulf countries, Saudi as well, Saudi, Emirat, all these countries, they come to the media, they're providing us, supporting us. But in the reality, they're providing the Israeli. That Israeli army spokesman, he came in the media and he said, you Arab, you have to feel shame on yourself because our plane flies with Arab petrol. And I feel ashamed to be Arab, not a Muslim, because that's our Muslim, our Arab brothers, supposed to be our brothers, Arab. Look at Egypt, they're closing our borders, they terminate the tunnels, they tighten the situation more than the Israeli do. So that's the point that when Hamas came to power, they make it difficult for the Palestinian people, so America doesn't want them, Europe doesn't want them, anyone doesn't want them. So that's the situation. You must understand that it doesn't just about Gaza or West Bank. Wherever there is action fight against them, they will attack. That's it. Is it okay?